I just said, man, I've had enough. And I knew it was like a tough decision, and DJing was sort of the extension of that. It's like, okay, well, if I can't sing, I can definitely spin the music, and I love the music. I love spinning the music. But you know, it is so annoying when people ask you to play music and you're like thinking you're giving it, you're giving your soul and you're giving your you know, everything, and they're like, oh, can you play Beyonce? It's like, no, I can't, I won't, you know. And it's like, so you know, I build my own events and venues. I don't build the spaces, but I promote them, and I'm like, you know, just so I can do what I want to do. And it's like, wow, getting people to just show up. You have to do something. You almost have to sell your soul. And I just don't do that. I'm an artist. I don't do that shit. And so it's like, you know, you got to know when to call it quits. And in spite of all of the great ideas I think that I have, I was like, you know what? Some of them are going to have to just go. They're just going to have to be dropped. And so I was like, that's it. You know? So I would love to have a float, but I decided, you know what, next year, if the brand does well, I will maybe have a float in another city, but I won't do it here. Yeah, it's crazy. It's just like, you know, I don't know. It was so weird because me and my cousin had brunch, and I met some people, some friends of hers, and they were just so intelligent and so smart, and they just had, our dialogue was just amazing. We had such great dialogue, and you know, it brought me to the realization, it's like sometimes in life you just need to meet like-minded people. And I think when I sat down and chatted with them, and everybody is something other than what they're doing, you know, it's like all of us go to these jobs and we you know, work for other people's, you know, companies and build them and build their dream. It's like, but we're not building our own. And I was like, you know what, it's time for me to be serious about my shit and start building my dream and working with my dreams. And one of the things I did is I want to start a web series, and I think I want to start it with Nathan in Manchester when he comes out. And I created a channel called the Intellect TV, and so I want to start putting up web series and exclusive content that would normally be on OmariAbbasi.com, but this will be the extension of it, where I'll start trying to create web series and put up there. So all in the effort to build the brand of Omari Abbasi, because I think I want to do things that have more to do with that. Like I would, and it's less participation. It's like I don't have to try to get 100 or 200 people into a building to hear me spin. And I'm like, yeah, I just can't. I can't put my efforts in that anymore. But I want to put my efforts into being more creative, like, you know, the photography portion and the stuff like that. But I was like, I think it's just time to come to the realization that sometimes things just don't work. I mean, it'd be great if they do, but they just always don't. Some shit just doesn't work, you know. And I would love to have the parade float, and I would love to have a monthly men's night and do all these wonderful things, but people gotta come. And you'd be surprised, I got like all these emails lately talking about when's the next men's room, and it's like, you know, well, had you been at the second one, I would have been able to have a third one. Or if had you been at the third one, I would have a fourth one. But because y'all don't show, yeah, so pull back, chill, release. I just can't. It's just so difficult just to be able to try to provide stuff for people to do that people just, they say they want stuff to do. And I ran into this a bit in Chicago, but it was easier in Chicago. Like, I looked forward to doing Ripe. Ripe was great. And it just seemed like it was tough at first. And then I think the dancers were the toughest thing to coordinate. And then after that, it was great. It was like, it just kind of came easy to me. I looked forward to doing my Saturday nights there. But I guess I'll have to figure out another way to channel that DJ thing. But so I was watching. I know I had to move on from that, but I did have to tell you, because it's like, yeah, you know, you guys know I'm a DJ and shit. So now, if anybody ever asks me why I don't do it here, you'll know why. You'll just have to, I'll refer you to the program Pull Back Chill Release. But I was watching. I'm infatuated with David Alexander, that pastor on Detroit Pastors. He's so intelligent. I wouldn't say, no, I shouldn't say, well, yeah, he is intelligent. He's very intelligent. I think it was just, I love his militant behavior. He's so for the people, and I love people like that. He's so amazing. So I was watching that the other day, but I also was watching, and I said I wasn't going to watch this anymore, but I was watching R&B Divas, and I thought, I think I want to do a web series, find some people to do critiques of these shows, almost like AfterBuzz, but more, I don't know, funny, and more like, because that dude DJ Janity is just not funny. The only person that's hilarious on there is that girl, Starlet. I can't think of her name. She's hilarious. But I want some people, maybe do a web series that are people who watch these reality TV shows and give their review, and in a real serious funny way. So I'll have to think about that. And but I was watching it and I was like, I'm so done with a lot of these reality shows. Like this was my last season watching Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like it was so dull. I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. Love and Hip Hop, that's the last season of that I'm watching. R&B Divas, it's jumped the shark. That's the last season I'm watching of that. Now I'm gonna watch this reunion because it looked good. Because they look crazy. They had that Stacey Francis chick is nuts. She is bizarre. I'm like, what? Like, and then you find some real super unknown chick to start all the shit, and then poor Michelle. But I don't know. Y'all probably don't even watch this shit, so I don't even know why I'm even having this conversation. But I was thinking, I was like, maybe I'll get a web series, find some people to watch the shows and review them. Maybe people who wouldn't normally watch them, and then have them give their critique. Maybe for next season. I don't know. I'm starting to work on the program. I know for a fact I want to do a mini web series of Nathan. And his website is gonna, well, he's kind of gonna have an extension of mine, which is it's up now. It's called Nathan Rocks Abasi Co UK, so you can check it out. There's nothing there, but you know. But I want to do a web series, and I'm trying to figure out the programming, like what I'm gonna do, who I'm gonna work with. But see, this will help me channel my creativity and not have to require to get hundreds of people to come and support what I do. I could just maybe work with one or two, maybe even three people, and get this started, because I want to do something fun now with the brand, with Omari Bossy brand. But I was watching these shows and I'm like, God, they're just at the end of their ropes. They're just all the same shit. The formula is the same. The people are the same. And I'm like, so over it. Did I even have notes today? I could have sworn I had notes today. I know this show is kind of dull, but all my shows are kind of dull. And y'all know that. Hold on. I'm going to see if I had some notes, because I did write down some stuff I wanted to do. Hold on. That ain't right. Nope. That ain't notes. Those ain't notes. Let's see. Hold on. Nope. Okay, so I guess I was slacking yet again. Oh no, we probably talked about the Patti LaBelle getting sued. Yeah, we probably did. But anyway, I'm I have a birthday coming up, and people keep asking me what I'm gonna do for my birthday as if we've never met. I never do anything for my birthday. I pretend it doesn't even it doesn't exist. I mean, especially stuff like big stuff like that's just not necessary for me. But I told myself I'll probably go to the movies and get some cake. But like that's after work or whatever. And then that's it. Like I just don't believe in them. Like when my mother was alive, I would celebrate her on my birthday. Like I would get her flowers and take her to dinner because I mean she did all the work. All I did was just come out crying, you know. So it's not like, I mean, what is the big deal? Who cares? I think when I was younger it was cool, but it was still about what it is today for me. It's about cake and punch. I'm dead serious. Like I used to have, when I was a kid, my grandfather's wife Goldie, and that was her name. She had a gold tooth too, and her name was really Goldie, and she had a gold tooth. And she would get this lady named Miss Yee to make me cakes, and they were the best cakes I've ever had in my life. And all I wanted when I was a kid for years, and I'm not talking about like 1 or 2 years, I'm talking like probably since the age of 3, probably up to about 11 or 12. And Miss G made my cakes all the time, and I would sometimes have 2 because my mom would want me to have a cake from Ramona's Bakery, which was the most popular bakery in the city, and she would also have a cake that I wanted from Mrs. G. And so Miss G would make me a cake every birthday until she died. And she would make the cake with the sweetest frosting ever. And she would make it homemade, and she was just the bomb. And all for the past 5 days I've been asking my cousin, like, where can I go to get a good frosting, you know, a cake with good frosting. And the only place I could think of is like Costco because their frosting is the shit. But like birthdays to me are only about red punch and cake. I mean, I don't want anything else. And since, you know, it's like spending time with people, I only have right now, you know, I just discovered, I don't know if I told you that, but maybe I'll tell that story next week, or maybe on Saturday I'll talk about my cousin who's here in Portland and how we ran into each other and whole nine. But since this is a very low, like a very, what do you call it? Very low key, sort of I don't know. Sometimes I have these podcasts where I'm just talking about sad shit. But next week, maybe I'll just have a discussion about how me and my cousin ran into each other at Trader Joe's, and we hadn't seen each other in almost 30 years. And we just picked up where we left off, and life is good. But I think the last birthday I spent with someone was 40, when I turned 40, and I was with my ex-boyfriend Mark. And I mean, 40 is like this major turning this life-changing experience, and I was with an idiot. And the good thing is he knew how much I love vanilla cake with sweet frosting, and so he got me that, which was really nice. And I was surprised because I was like, he's so selfish and such an idiot. And he actually managed to do that. And then for my birthday, but you know, all fairness, he knows that I don't celebrate. He knew I didn't celebrate my birthday, but took me to a park, and we were at a park, and we had to walk along like a river of some sort. And then he ended up getting mad at me because I didn't know how to jump a fence properly. And I was like, who spends their 40th birthday with a crazy boyfriend who is pissed off because they can't jump a fence? I was turning 40 years old, and he's thinking that I should be able to jump a fence better. It's not like I was 8. I turned 40, and he's mad because I couldn't jump a fence properly. I was like, fuck my life.